What's up, everybody? Brett Okamoto from ESPN alongside the UFC's welterweight king, the African gorilla, Kamaru Usman, who I got a lot of questions for. But first and foremost, I mean, the last time you and I spoke, one of the topics that came up is your decision to not wear shirts very often. And now here you are. You got the threads on. What's the deal there? I mean, I thought we were. I mean, it's even warmer now than it was last time I talked to you. We're almost in June now. What's going on?
I know. That really hurt my feelings last time. I was broken up about that for a while. So since then I haven't gone anywhere without a shirt on. I've always kept the shirt on, and it seems better. I feel like I don't get as much of attention though. So
I would imagine so.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a letdown, but it is what it is. I'll do it for you, Brett.
No, dude, don't let me make you feel insecure. I mean, I never said it didn't look great. I was just curious as to why we had to let it out there all the time. So
you're saying it looked great?
Do you? You're the champ, man. You make the calls. You want to go shirtless? Take it off. Where are we talking to you right now? Where are you at?
I am in Denver, actually. Yeah, another reason why I got the shirt on. It's not as cold in South Florida, but yeah, I'm in Denver right now.
Okay. When did you get to Denver?
Yesterday. Yeah.
Okay.
Yesterday.
What are we doing in Denver? I mean, obviously everybody knows you as a South Florida guy throughout your entire fight career. What's going on in Denver?
Yeah, I'm of course I'm a South Florida guy. South Florida is my home. And that's where I started. Just getting a little different feel. I'm here for a couple of weeks, getting a different feel, and we'll see what happens. But everyone knows South Florida is my home.
What are we preparing for, man? I mean, that's the obvious question, right? I mean, last time I spoke to you, you said unequivocally, 100%, Jorge Masvidal is my next opponent. Right. Are we still there? What is the time frame? Who are you fighting? When are you fighting? Where are you fighting?
Brett, that's the craziest thing right now. Like, you guys see this whole circus that's going on. I've been ready to fight since April, Brett. I've been ready to fight. Like I've been training since February, and I've been, when that situation was unfolding with Khabib not being able to come back in the country, you saw it. I called Dana up. Hey, April 18th, you need me, my man. Let's do it. I'm ready to rumble for the right price. I'm ready to rumble. I got in the gym, started cutting weight. I could have made the weight easily, but their side pulled out. As we saw later on, he came out and said, "Oh, we were different with the numbers and this and that." So they told you they pulled out. May 9th, same thing. I called them like, "Hey, I'm ready to go. Let me know what we need to get done to get this going. I'm ready to rumble for the right price." I guess I don't know what negotiations was going on with them or how far they went on that, but didn't end up happening. June, I'm throwing my hat in again. I'm ready to go. What's up? I'm ready. The champ is ready to go. Let's go. And now, this whole situation, I'm ready for July or whatever is going on. But, now they're coming out saying, "Oh, well, we want to look at this guy and this." Like, in the history, when have you seen a number one contender say, "You know what? We're not going to take the fight to become the champion of the world and be the star that we always wanted to be"? Why would anyone do that? Oh, you're just trying to get some money because you think it's an easier fight for you? The guy that you kind of just beat playing around, you thought that's a better fight for you? Why is that a better fight than being the champion of the world?
Yeah.
Oh, because you know that the champ of the world is gonna beat out of me, and I have nothing that I can do about it. So you know what? Let me go over here and try to get some easy money. And so I'm like, you know what? It is what it is. I don't care who it is. They can drag someone's mom out the basement. I'm ready to rumble for the right price. I don't care who it is. If it's Conor, that's why I said Conor, this would be history. Like, I know a lot of people are trying to kind of get on it and say, "Oh, Conor doesn't deserve it." Okay, but the next guy that's deserving of the fight would be Leon Edwards. He can't get in the country. So what? If Conor can make this fight happen, why wouldn't we fight Conor? He just fought at 170. He looked great. Like Cowboy Cerrone beat a lot of guys that were ranked at 170.
Yeah.
You know, he did very well at 170. And Conor went out there and you know, and starched him. I mean, obviously, I like Cowboy. Cowboy's my guy. But Conor went out there and got the job done in less than a minute. So how could people sit here and say that Conor is not deserved? And this is, we're about making history here. He's saying that he's the pound for pound greatest of all time across 3 divisions. This is your chance to prove it. Go out there and win the 3rd belt in the 3rd division. So why wouldn't we make that fight? I'm gonna give him the opportunity. If Conor wants it, let's do it. But Conor's quiet now. Why is Conor quiet? Who says no to a title shot? I've never seen this in history where who says no when the champ says, come and get your title shot? Unless you know you have no chance in hell of winning, that this might change the landscape of your fighting career ever. That's the only chance I can see people saying, you know what? I'm gonna pass on that title shot right there.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I remember talking to you after you won the belt, and you said one of the best things about holding this belt is that I know that everybody has to come to me now. Everyone's going to want to fight me. And now here we are after one title defense, and you're saying the #1 contenders don't want to fight you. So maybe you were wrong about that one.
I was definitely wrong about that one. You know, I've been the boogeyman of the welterweight division for a long time, and I'm still having problems getting fights as a champion. Like, if that doesn't tell you I'm the most dangerous and well-rounded welterweight there's ever been, I don't know what is.
I'm hoping to talk to Dana White this week. You know, as I'm sure you know, the fights are back. They're most likely going to be here in Vegas. Going to try to get some of Dana White's time. But can you tell me, I mean, have you talked to the UFC? Have you talked to Dana? Have you talked to Hunter? Have you talked to Sean? What is their take on this whole situation?
No, I haven't talked to them. You know, I don't particularly talk to them. I let my manager do that for me. You know, he does a great job of talking to them and getting the deals done and things like that. So I let him handle all that. My job is to rumble for the right price, and you know, when they pull my ticket and call my number, I get in there and I make it happen. So, you know, I've been ready. Like I said, I've been ready since April. We just can't get these guys to commit and step in there and try to take this belt.
You know, you mentioned for the right price 3 or 4 times now already in this interview. What you need to have some conversations with UFC? Does your contract need to be opened up?
No, I mean, there's always a conversation to be had, of course. You know, and that's when you become the champion. You know, the landscape of things change, and you know, that's it. You know, it's just a little conversation that needs to be had if there's a serious fight on the table. But you know, we can't get anybody to commit to a fight. So, you know, we can't even have those conversations if we can't get somebody to commit to a fight. So, you know, we're looking to hopefully get somebody to commit to a fight, and you know, and my manager is gonna do what he does best.
Which fight of any of them would you want the most right now? Is it still Jorge, or now does the idea of Conor kind of creep up and past that one?
Which fight do I want the most? Like, for me, I see no face. To be honest, it doesn't mean anything. They don't mean anything to me. They're all the same. When I step in there, I'm going to hit them all with the same intensity. And obviously, the Masvidal, because so many people were on that and so many people felt like that made sense, which, you know, I didn't think it made sense from the start, to be honest with you. But so many people were buying into the hype and they said, oh, he's the next contender and this and that. All right, I'll give you what you want. You want Masvidal? All right, I'll give you Masvidal. So I said, all right, let's make it happen. And then now he's tweeting, you know what, Nate, let's run it back. What? Who says no to a title shot? And then, you know, if Conor came out, I didn't say anything about Conor. Conor's the one who came out and said, you know, I might go in and take over that 170 division. Well, here's your chance. Here's your chance, Mr. McGregor. You want that 170 division? Here's your title shot. But I haven't heard anything. It's just silence now. All these guys it's silence. What's going on? Why is it silent?
Kamaru, you versus Conor McGregor, who has fought as low as 145 pounds, who's had who's shown that he's had a little bit of problems with a wrestler in Khabib Nurmagomedov. It is a fight between you and Conor a competitive fight? You're an analyst sometimes for ESPN. If you're breaking that fight down, Kamaru versus Conor, how competitive is it?
Yeah, it is a competitive fight. Like, a lot of people are kind of going on the side. Oh, you've been at 170 and Conor's fought as low as 145. I wrestled at 145. What are people talking about? I wrestled at 145, and then I grew into a 170-pound fighter. Conor fought at 145, and then he grew into a welterweight fighter. You know, yeah, some people might still say, "Oh, yeah, he's too small," but Masvidal was a middle lightweight fighter. You know, RDA was a lightweight fighter. You know, Nate Diaz was a lightweight fighter. Anthony Pettis was a lightweight fighter and fought as low as 145. Came up to welterweight and knocked out Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. You know, so I think it's ridiculous for people to just sit here and say, and that's the thing too. A fight is a fight. A lot of the people who are saying, "Oh, this is not competitive," are a lot of just fans standing on the outside. You know, a fight is a fight. Anything can happen in the fight. You know, and Conor's got that beautiful left hand that he feels that he could, you know, deliver and know. He said himself, nobody can take that left hand. You know, I'd like to test that. I'd like to see if he can throw that left hand, if he can make that happen. So, you know, I think it's crazy that people are saying it's not going to be competitive. The real people know how that would go down. The real people know. If you're asking me, am I going to win? Do I think I can win that fight? I can beat anybody on the planet that weighs 170. I can beat anybody on the planet. So, of course, I'm going to say that.
Would you be tempted at all to try to knock him out if the fight did come together?
Absolutely.
Rather than wrestle him, like maybe in the first round, if you felt like I can take this guy down, but would there be part of you that would want to knock him out?
Well, first of all, it's not that I can take this guy down. I can absolutely take him down if I want to. I can take anybody down if I want to. Tyron Woodley is a 2-time Division I All-American wrestler, probably the best credentialed wrestler in the UFC right now, minus Ben Askren on paper. You know, and we saw that win. So it's not based on that. Like, I can absolutely take anybody down that I choose to take down. I will even sign a contract with Conor McGregor. I'll tell him, you know what? We'll put it in the contract. First round or second round, I'm not going to take you down. If you want to do that, we'll put it in the contract. I'm not going to take you down. Like, the crazy thing is that people are still under the impression that all I can do is wrestle. Like, that's what's crazy to me. In my last fight, I could have taken this guy down. I chose not to. I chose to stand there and beat him up. You know, with Woodley, when I wanted to stand, I stood with Woodley and almost got him out of there. You know, the fight before that, RDA, I stood with him a ton, and I almost got him out of there in that last round.
Yeah.
You know, Damian Maia, I stood with him all 5 rounds. Like, you know, like for people to really still say that, oh, you're going to try to take him down. Hey, yeah, if I want to take him down, I've said it before. If I want you down, I'll take you down. That's not there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But if I want to stand and strike with you, absolutely. Am I going to try to knock Conor McGregor out? Absolutely. I'm going to try to knock his head off his effing shoulders.
Well, I mean, obviously, you signing a contract that says you wouldn't take him down in the first 2 rounds would be pretty entertaining.
I would absolutely sign that contract. Absolutely.
As a fight fan, I wouldn't mind seeing it. But let's say Conor stays quiet. Let's say this isn't a title shot that he wants.
He will.
Let's say Jorge decides to continue to pursue Nate. I know that Nate would love to fight him again. So let's say those two are off the table. What does that mean for you? Like a rematch with Colby, Tyron, Gilbert Burns, the guy that you know well, obviously, the winner of that fight. I mean, would any of those fights do anything for you?
Well, listen, this is what kind of it's kind of annoying to me is a lot of people are saying, oh, with rematch with Colby. Like, why the does Colby deserve a rematch? Like, was he the champion that I just took the belt off of? And he deserves a rematch? Like, that's the craziest thing to me. A contender fights for the belt, gets knocked out, and then everyone's like, oh, rematch? For what? You know? But I absolutely, down the line, I would absolutely love to fight him again because it was a fun fight. Like, I had as much fun in that fight as everybody had in watching the fight. You know, so it was a fun fight. Absolutely, I would love to fight him again. But for everyone calling, oh, it's a rematch, you need to do that rematch for what? For what? Was he the champion? No, I was the champion, and I went out there defending my belt. So why does Colby deserve a rematch? Because it was just such a fun fight and people want to see it again, see the blood again? Yeah, absolutely. We'll do that down the line when I feel like I want to. You know, on the bigger and better. Like, I want to continue to defend my belt. So, you know, I've been ready to defend this belt since April, May, June. Now we're looking at July. I just need somebody to you know, grow a pair of balls and step in there and take this L.
July on Fight Island, right? Is that what you're hearing? Flying to an island somewhere?
July in my backyard. I don't care where it's at.
Anywhere. Yeah.
Anywhere.
All right, last question for you this weekend. I mentioned it earlier, Tyron Woodley fighting Gilbert Burns. What do you think of that fight?
Mm-hmm.
And again, I mentioned that you know Gilbert pretty well. If he were to win that fight and look great,
Very well.
you know, I've asked him this question too. What are the chances of you two fighting? What is your relationship when it comes to that?
No, our relationship is good. It's not, you know, Gilbert's always been the guy that I've trained with, you know, respect very, very well. He's similar to me. We do the same thing. We love what we do. We go, we train, and we love our families, you know, and that's what it is. Like, it's understood whenever that ever comes up, when we have to fight. Who am I to tell a man that you can't change the landscape of your life, your family's life? You know, absolutely not. I'm not going to say no. I'm not going to give him a title shot or anything like that. No, that's silly. You know, me, him, and Vicente, we're kind of in that same boat. If it comes down to it, we have to fight. Absolutely, we're going to fight. And then at the end of the night, I'll buy you a beer if you want a beer or a drink, you know? Like, simple as that. You know, no bad blood in any sense and of all that. If we have to fight, then we have to take care of business.
Yeah. You think he beats Tyron this weekend?
I think I think a lot of people are sleeping on Gilbert with this fight, which is a very big mistake. If Tyron doesn't come correct, it's gonna be a bad night. That's all I'm gonna say. If Tyron doesn't come correct, it's gonna be a really bad night, because Gilbert is just he's starting to hit his stride, and that's a dangerous man that you have in front of you when he's starting to feel it, and he's confident in himself, and it's a very, very dangerous man. So I guarantee you, if Tyron doesn't come on his P's and Q's, he's going to be very disappointed.
Yeah. All right, man. One last thing before we let you go, and we appreciate the time. You've been gracious with it as always. You know, these days they can cut up these videos however they want. They can throw them up on social media. You know, these things go viral, this and that, everything else. I want you to look at the camera and give a message to Jorge Masvidal, and then I want you to give one to Conor McGregor. Anything that you want to tell him. I mean, you're looking for a fight in July. Neither of those two have a fight currently booked. They've said some things, you know, Conor is talking about the GOAT and Jorge Masvidal is talking about a potentially BMF fight, but you two have, you know, squared off and had, you know, your history together. What do you have to say to Jorge Masvidal today? What do you have to say to Conor McGregor?
This is what I have to say to both guys, is both guys now are champions of Twitter, typing stuff up on Twitter. That's what both guys are champions of, talking on Twitter. In the history, who has ever said no to a title shot? I'm that only guy. I'm that boogeyman that these guys are saying no to a title shot for. And they better remain quiet, because we've seen with Jorge Masvidal, you've had the opportunity. April 18th, you had the opportunity. You said no. May 9th, you had the opportunity. You said no. June, you said no. Now July, you want to fight Nate, a fight that wasn't competitive. You know, and Conor, you said you want to be the king of the 170 division. Now you're quiet. So you know what? Just remain quiet. That's what I expect. Remain quiet, both of you guys. Remain quiet, because I've given both of you guys a shot, and none of you guys want to take it. So stay quiet and let the king go on down the street doing his thing.
Kamaru, appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for the time. You look good. I'm sure underneath you're shredded. The pecs are looking big.
Since you want to see it,
you know what? You don't got to do it.
You want to see it, Brett? I got you. I got you, Brett. I got you. What's up?
There it is. I knew it. I knew it, man. Off-season Kamaru, shredded as ever.
My man. Hey, I've been ready. I've been ready. I've been ready to fight. This is fight shape. I can make weight this weekend if I.
You look ready.
I'm ready.
You look ready, man. Fight Island, backyard, wherever the case is. Apex Center in Vegas. Let's go. Get Kamaru Usman fight, please.
Let's make it happen.
All right, champ. Appreciate the time, man. Have a good one.
You too.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.